The Spanish Mustang is the descendant of the horse brought to the New World by the conquistadors. It is quite properly a historically Iberian horse. It is not, however, a wild Mustang, and has not been so for the better part of a century. These horses are the product now of over 80 years of preservation. The horses of Windcross Conservancy are registered with the American Heritage Horse Association and are eligible for the Spanish Mustang Registry, Inc. They are DNA banked for parentage and tested for genetic anomalies and color at the University of Kentucky in Lexington, Kentucky.
My very favorite thing about the Spanish Mustang as a breed is their personality, the way they bond with their person. They are like no other breed that I've ever been involved with in the way that they relate to their human. You respect a Spanish Mustang and a Spanish Mustang respects you. They have a huge sense of self. They are very aware of who they are, what they are. They're a very, very proud breed. And they carry that pride with them wherever they go. They're very, very solid horses in that they're not like a lot of breeds that they spook at something, they're going to run. They might spook at something and they might run, but they're going to run 10 feet. I like to think of them as sort of a banked fire. The fire's there, it's going, but if you need it to flare up, it's there. They can turn on a dime. They're very catty. They're great cow horses. They are very, very athletic, but they preserve that athleticism. They use it when they need to use it, and it's there in spades, as they say. I have yet to find the bottom of any of my horses. They go and they go and they go willingly, they go happily, and they're interested in what they're interested in their surroundings. They're interested in what's going on in the world. They notice things. They notice things other horses might not notice. I've known people who have done endurance rides where they've got spotters hidden in the woods and things. And the horse is like, hey, there's somebody in the bushes. Other horses go by. That Spanish Mustang stops. Hey, there's somebody in the bushes. So they do notice a lot of things, and they don't necessarily get scared of them. They are very, very courageous horses. They're very brave. I've done expos, the Minnesota Horse Expo, for many years, 19 years now. And we always hear people say, your horses were so great in the Coliseum. They were the best of the breeds in the Coliseum. You know, other horses, it's scary in there. It's big, it's huge, there's people around. There's banners flaring everywhere. And these horses are like, I'm with my person. My person's not gonna get me in trouble. I'm good to go. And they go. We had a horse that went into the fair as a rare breed, and he was right behind a big draft 6-horse team pulling a huge, like, combine. And it was very loud, and those horses ran in, ran around, and ran back out. And that horse stood there. And he stood there and watched them, and when it was his turn, he trucked on into the Coliseum, and it was just amazing. And I was so proud that he had the courage and the trust and to do that without worrying about himself. They're not worriers, they're doers.
Once the unwanted horse of Columbus, the Spanish Mustang became the horse to conquer a new world upon. The ancestors of this horse conquered a brave new world as the horse of the mountain man, the Pony Express, the Native American, and the Texas cattle trails. They helped shape and build the American West.
I think that the thing that I found most intriguing when I was looking for a carriage driving replacement for my thoroughbred was the fact that I went to look at this horse and he was so incredibly sentient. He had such a sense of self, such a sense of personality, and along with the athleticism that I'd found in this animal, it was very, very difficult at first to figure out that he wanted to be a partner. He didn't want to be a tool. He didn't want me to treat him like he was a four-wheeler or that sort of thing. But over the first month that I had him, what I really found is he was incredibly sound. He was such a thinker, and we were able to move forward in our carriage driving career together so quickly. And really, for the first 4 years that I had these horses, I didn't particularly care for the breed itself, other than the fact that it was such a marvelous sport animal that, you know, everything that I tried with them, whether it was English or Western or carriage driving, herding cattle, that sort of thing, they were very willing, very interested, and, you know, had this incredible ability to do these things. So, and this was just such an interesting thing compared to other breeds. You know, I had come from sport horses, from warm bloods and that like, and getting into a horse that was so willing to be your partner and so athletic and such a using horse. In the same aspect was just a fabulous companion, that you could sit out there on the lawn and hang out with your horse and be with them. And they seemed to really enjoy being with their people. And I had kids, and they went and took this particular gelding, my very first Spanish Mustang. He had never seen kids when I got him, and still he went and was very tolerant and very patient, which I didn't find in all breeds. I didn't find that. They seem to know who belongs to them, what are their herd of people, and they're very willing to take care of their own. I've never felt that with another horse, that no matter what I've done, we're going to come out the other side of it together. I've never been left. You know, we've always been together. And I've had Thunderhawk, my very first Spanish Mustang. He's 17 years old this year. So we've been together 14 years. We're like this old grumpy married couple. And I wouldn't trade him for the world. Not for the absolute world. He'll be here for life. He's my partner.
Today, numbers are at an all-time low. It is quite possible that less than 1,000 purebred Spanish Mustangs exist today. On the verge of a biological meltdown and extinction, it is a race against time to beat worsening economies in an effort to save these wonderful horses.
Things that I've found appealing with these horses and things that I've learned about these horses would be that their personalities are very diverse, like with different family bloodlines, and with just the horses in general, it's different things about them. Some of them have personalities that you could say are more dog-like, and they're extremely loyal to the people that they love. And there'll be horses that they'll be everyone's horse. They love everybody. And then there'll be horses that they have that one person, and they'll do anything in the world for those horses and for those people. Things that I've learned is that they're not exactly put a quarter in the slot kind of horse. They're something that you have to work with. You have to build a bond. You have to gain their trust. They're not just born to always be a working horse. They're somebody that needs to have love too. As I've gone to horse shows, when I was little, when I took my horse to shows, I would notice all the differences, whether it's between conformation, the personality from my horses to the other horses in the show. And there'd be people at the show that sometimes I'd help them with their horses too if they were short on hands. And I would notice an immediate difference from handling different horses such as Friesians or even Shetland ponies to handling Spanish Mustangs. It's like the Spanish Mustangs hang on to every move and just every body gesture you do, and they know that if they're scared, that they can always come back to who their person is. What I think would make this horse a great horse for kids and also a great horse for kids growing up would be that it teaches them to actually really pay attention to what their horse is doing, because these horses are very curious about their own surroundings as well as what their people are doing, and so these kids will have to know like what their horse is truly interested in, and kind of keep them busy because they want to go and do stuff. They're not a lazy horse. They want to go out and follow you wherever you go. They're, again, as I said, they're very loyal. But these ones, you're gonna have to pay attention. It teaches them to actually focus on what they're doing and to put their attention towards their own horse and not just things going around them.
Windcross Conservancy horses are working Spanish Mustangs. Their ancestors were bred to be bullfighters, war horses, and cattle horses. Today, they greet visitors to the Conservancy year-round. They offer themselves to kid camp sessions and training sessions with adult students and interns. Conservancy programs include summer internships for horsemanship, kid camps, public outreach, tours, and more. Most have become loved companions of volunteers and interns. As ambassadors for the breed, they give much while teaching the humans and stewards around them. Future Conservancy programs include building on our commitment to our country's veterans, completing the library to the Spanish Mustang, as well as equine-assisted therapies.
I love this horse because they are really natural. All of them aren't broke, so you have to gain their trust, and you have to work for it. And it's really interesting because this is not easy, and this is what is interesting because you have to really give yourself into it, and you have to be careful because They have different personalities, and some of them won't like you or won't want you to work with them. But it's okay, because you will find one who's meant to be with you, and that's what is great, is that you can't have them all, and that's okay, because you will have one, and that's enough. You will find one who's meant to be with you, and that's enough.
I come to Windcross through the Workaway program. I was actually studying in England to do horse management and horse care, and I just thought the Western way would be a great way to actually progress in my education. And I have absolutely fell in love with the Spanish Mustang. I keep coming back. I've been back 7 times now, and I hope I will forever be involved with my mare and this family and the breed. My mare Lorelei is the best thing that ever happened to me. She picked me. I did not pick her. They have a way of doing that. They pick their person, and she is mine. I've worked in a stable where it's riding horses, cobs, shire horses, Welsh ponies, and nothing compares. My mare will do anything for me. She works for other people, but she works her best for me because I'm her person. I love these horses because they're beautiful. They will absolutely die for you. And once you have their trust and respect, they will do absolutely anything you ask of them. And there's this amazing presence when you're with them, and they're so curious of what you want to do. They will follow you anywhere, and that's why I love them.
I want to learn more about their breed and then share it with other people, so they can end up sharing it, and hopefully more people learn about it, more people donate, more people help these horses, help the bloodline, because they're amazing. They're such amazing horses. They're loyal, they're beautiful, and once you have one that you love and they love you back, it's an amazing bond that is forever there. I was here last summer every single day, and I wasn't able to come up during this winter because of work and school. And whenever I come back, this horse remembers me. Toodles, I mean, she remembers me. She knows who I am. She knows the smell. She knows everything about me, and the bond will always be there between us. And I want other people to know that. I want other people to experience that, because I mean, it's amazing. It's so amazing. So it's something everyone needs to know about, and then everyone can have a horse like that, a friend, a family member, and a bond.
A Windcross herd horse is selected to be part of the preservation herd because of its value to the breed, either with the rarity of the bloodline or the excellence of breed type and conformation. Occasionally, a herd member is available for purchase. That is either because it does not add anything genetically to the herd, there is another full sibling available better suited to the herd, or the horse is better suited to being part of a family as a valued companion. We believe that we must be an arc for the future of these horses, and our ongoing efforts are focused to this. We also provide breeding stock for other programs globally in an ongoing effort to propagate the horses in a broader global community. In summary, it is not a feral horse. It is, however, a valued remnant of America's Western heritage and an eminently suitable horse for the modern world too.
I grew up with these horses. These are something that I've had even when I was little. And as growing up, they protect you. You see big giant quarter horses or Percherons or Friesians, and you compare them to our breed and how little they are. And it's intimidating for something so big. And when you're younger, even for like children, it's something big is bigger, it's scary. And when you're younger, it's nice to have something that's even smaller, and you know they'll protect you, because I grew up with horses like that, and they care for their people and their person. And having my own personal horse, even when I was little, just being around them, they'll protect you from other horses, other people, things that they think is scary for themselves. And it's what they do. They're not mean or anything like that. They're very gentle and kind and very, very caring. They care for horses around them and their people around them. And they're not giant, huge, and unknown of the littler things. They notice everything. They are always very aware of everything around them. They take care of one another. Our breed, the Spanish Mustang, is worth saving because they're all unique. You'll never find one that's even close to similar. You'll see and you'll learn their history and the way they move and the way they act, and you compare it to the history of like a quarter horse or an Andalusian or something that comes from like a different bloodline, different heritage, and you see the way they act, the way they move, and it's all different. You'll never see something ever like it. They are special in their own way. They're way different from any other breed. They're so unique in characteristics and their movement and the way that they act around, with the way they react to different things, unlike any other horse.
Windcross Conservancy works with the American Heritage Horse Association and Spanish Mustang breeders to promote genetic diversity, to help promote consistent breed type and conformation.
this is a breed that you're not going to be able to make. This is a breed that comes from heritage. It's the heritage of America. These horses are the remnants of the horses that came with the conquistadors, with the people who settled America. At one point in time, there were millions of Spanish horses running the United States. And over time, these horses have been attacked. They've been decimated by the thousands. At one point in time, they roamed across the America with the buffalo. And because they have been destroyed, there are so few of them left, and they are so special for many, many reasons. The Spanish brought with them many different types of horses. They brought horses that were war horses. They brought horses that were for riding. They brought horses that were, work bulls. They brought horses that they needed, and as those horses became lost or stolen and began to run free, they created a breed like no other. Mother Nature is a very cruel mistress and honed out the horses that were stupid. She honed out the horses that were weak. So what we have is a horse that is intelligent, courageous, and disappearing. We need young people to get into these horses because otherwise they're going to be gone. And we can't recreate them. Am I going to cry? But it's true.
Sarah Hatton riding Chris Thompson's Brago.
Our primary objective is to raise public interest and especially awareness of this amazing breed by making the project herd intimately available to visitors through tours, public events, and classes. All proceeds from these events and horse sponsorships go to support the horses of the breed. The Spanish Mustang risks extinction. It is time for everyone concerned to become supportive, involved, and committed in the effort to stem the tide of shrinking numbers and reverse centuries of declining numbers. There is a role for everyone, for you, in the preservation of the Spanish Mustang. Extinction is forever.
So get yourself a Spanish Mustang.